Hi everyone, Ed Holmwood, Elmo USA. I thought I'd take a couple of minutes and share some tips and tricks with you on using our wireless document cameras, the MO2, MA1, or TT12W. My first tip is get yourself a wireless mouse or a wireless keyboard with a touchpad, especially for the MO2 and the TT12W, as they don't have a built-in touchscreen like the MA1. Makes it much easier to navigate the menus you see here and some of the other menus in the camera itself. So again, wireless mouse or wireless keyboard really makes a big difference. So this is the home screen. This is not what you see when you start up the camera. When you initially start up the camera, it will take you to the camera mode, so you'll actually see whatever information's under the camera. We've got a 12-point font test page here, and you can see the image is very good. Now you'll also notice that on the right and left side there are two little blue tabs, or if you sweep in from the right or left side, those will appear. And on the bottom you'll see a tab. I'm going to go ahead and sweep in the tab from the right side, and it brings up some annotation tools I have: a pen tool, a highlighter, eraser, or a grab handle. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my highlighter, my pen tool, and I can go ahead and annotate by using the touch screen built into my MA1. I can go ahead and erase that like that. So on the bottom, if I sweep up from that tab, you'll notice on the far left side my zoom control. So if I want to zoom in and out, I can, and you'll see the slider move. And if I want to autofocus, you'll see there's an autofocus button there. There also is a hard autofocus button and hard zoom in, zoom out buttons on the front panel of the unit itself. Now just below that orange AF button is a camera icon. That camera icon is for taking still images. It can store still images to the SD memory card, a USB thumb drive, or the unit's internal memory. The next icon over to the right is a snowflake. That's freeze frame. So if I want to change the information under my camera, I can go ahead and freeze the frame and then come back and unfreeze the frame, and you'll see the information's changed. The next one is my rotation. So if I want to rotate, now I've got it set to rotate 90 degrees. You can set it to rotate 180, and I'll show you where to do that in a moment. So there's our rotation in 90-degree steps, or again, 180 flip. Next to that icon is a camera icon, a movie camera icon. That's for recording videos. When you record a video, it can record a video to the internal memory, an SD memory card inserted in that slot, or a USB thumb drive. Now, it must be said, the microphone that's built into the unit is only for recording videos to one of those three storage locations. The microphone cannot be used in Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, WebEx, whatever. Just a note. Next to that is a little sun icon. That's where we adjust our brightness on the camera. I can slide it left to right if I want to open up the aperture or close the aperture down. Next to that is a built-in light button. Now I'm going to put my hand on the camera. You'll see the light is on, and now you'll see the light is off. And you'll notice the camera adjusts automatically. So even without the light on, the image is still very good. So we'll turn it back on just so you can see the difference. Next to that icon to the right is a QR code reader icon. So when we're in the camera, sometimes our textbooks or teaching materials have a QR code that links to some internet-based resource, whether it's a YouTube video or a web page or whatever. If you scan that QR code with the Elmo camera, it will take you to that link. Because we have Android, we have a browser built in, we can go to whatever web link that reveals. Or if it's a link to a YouTube video, the camera itself will go and play the YouTube video, and you'll hear the audio through the built-in speaker in the camera on the MO2 and MA1. Now, the audio will also go out on all cameras over the HDMI into your display, and if your display has speakers, then obviously you'll hear it at that point. The icon next to that is the home button, just takes us back to our main home screen, which is our Android skin. Now, you'll see external input switching. I can connect, let's say, my laptop via an HDMI cable to the input on my camera, my MO2, MA1, or TT12W, and I can toggle back and forth between the camera-generated image and the computer-generated image without swapping cables. Now, with all the cameras, because they can wirelessly cast their video to an ElmoCast dongle or a Miracast compatible display, I can send both the camera image and or the external input switching image, my computer image. I can send either of them wirelessly to my display. So I could pick up my camera and my laptop and go to a workstation somewhere else in the classroom and send both images, my choice, to the wireless display. Whiteboard is simple. It's a little whiteboard function. It really only works well with the MA1 because of the built-in touchscreen. Gallery is where you would go and find any saved images or videos that you've created that are either on the SD memory card or on the internal memory. And again, dropping down, we have a QR code reader, which again, if we're not in our camera app and we need to access, we can real quickly. You'll see the Miracast button. I can turn my Miracast on or off. It shows everything Miracast that I'm available to connect to. And so it would automatically connect, and I'll show you where to do that. Once you've made the initial handshake, you can automatically connect each time you power up the camera. Again, we have a browser built in, and one of the nice things about that is it's a Google browser. I can search anything I want to. It's especially easy to do if I have my wireless keyboard connected. Let's go back to the home screen. Timer, simple. Countdown timer for taking tests, doing tasks, whatever. That's a very easy thing. Next to that, we have our Elmo Play Store, which is a curated store where you would find apps that we've vetted that can work with the Android in our wireless camera product. Next to that is File Manager, which gives us an overview of anything stored on memory. Excuse me, whether it's a picture, video, PDF file, whatever. Below that are some of the apps that I've loaded. The ScottyGo EDU app comes preloaded on every camera, so that's already there, and you can find out more about ScottyGo at our webpage at elmousa.com. I've side-loaded all the rest of these apps just to try to do some other stuff for demonstration purposes, and I won't get into that right now. However, the Google Translate app is very handy if I'm doing English as a second language and need to translate maybe an English language document to Spanish or vice versa. Those apps are things I've sideloaded. They don't come preloaded on the camera. Now, in the upper right-hand corner, you see a little battery icon. Shows the state of charge. I'm actually charging the battery right now. If we go all the way down to the lower right-hand corner, there's a little gear. That is our Android settings. I'm going to go ahead and go in there right now. And you'll see our system setting, which is going to touch that. And that's going to take us into our connection for Wi-Fi, data usage, our Ethernet connection should we need it, because you can hardwire your Ethernet into the camera via Cat5 or Cat6 cable. Storage, battery, what apps are located, language and input, backup and reset the camera, date, time, and then the visual presenter, which is not an important option right now. So let's go back to our main settings page here. Camera resolution, I can choose all the way down to 1024 by 768. The default is, of course, 1080p. Viewing angle, we can do 4:3 or 16:9. I'll be honest with you, if you still have 4:3 formatted displays, the museum called, they'd like to get those back. Speaker volume, I can adjust the volume of the speaker just real quick with a slider. Microphone mute, if I want to use the microphone for recording to an SD memory card, the internal memory, or a USB thumbstick, I would want to turn that mic on. I've got it muted because I'm not using it. Flicker mode is only important if you're in Europe, where you have 220 volts at 50 cycles versus the 120 volts at 60 cycles we have here. So don't worry about it. It'll automatically adjust itself in the auto mode. Record quality, we have the option of high quality, large file size, normal, medium file size, low quality, low file size. It's up to you. Normal quality works quite well. Viewing rotation angle, this is where we can adjust our angle from a 90 degree to a 180 flip. Automatically casting screen. If we're using our Miracast ElmoCast dongle or Miracast to a compatible display, you'll want to have the automatically casting screen option enabled, because then each time you turn on Miracast from that main screen, the Android skin, it will automatically handshake to the last device it was connected to, which would be normally your display or your ElmoCast in your classroom. So that makes it much easier to utilize. Electronic textbook just allows you to put in a web page that you can access quickly. They call it electronic textbook. It is an option that apparently is used frequently in Japan. Scroll mode allows left-right scrolling as well as up-down. Keystone correction we don't need to worry about with flat panel displays. It was a big deal on old overhead transparency projectors. You know, the top would be wider than the bottom, and you can adjust for that. USB camera, this needs to be on if we're going to use our camera in Zoom, Teams, Meet, whatever. If it's not on, the system, those apps won't recognize the camera's connected via USB to your computer. That's the trick. It's got to be connected via USB to your computer. So if you want to use it as a webcam, you must make sure that this is turned on. Once you go in and you choose this camera in either of those apps, After a few seconds, it'll go ahead and make the handshake and you can use it as a camera, no problem. However, again, the microphone that's built into the cameras, the MO2 and MA1, won't work for Zoom meetings or Meet or whatever. And of course, the TT12W doesn't have a microphone built in. So brightness, you saw we can adjust that from the main screen, but there's a second adjustment here. White balance, again, automatic. I recommend leave it in automatic, but you can obviously compensate for all kinds of different lighting settings. Auto is the best way to go for sure. We spent a lot of time, effort, and energy to make that one work right. Product information just shows apps, checks for updates if there are any, our Android versions, licenses, and so forth. So let's go back to the home screen again. And as you can see, it's a real simple camera to use. There's not a lot of issues. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. One thing I do want to show real quick, and I kind of showed the zoom before, but one option you always have too is you can zoom in manually by physically moving the camera head closer. And this comes in handy if you want to show a page view. So we're going to get that in sharp and you can see I'm showing the page view. The disconnect we have in the world of printing is we create everything we print in a portrait format. But the devices we create our printed stuff in are landscape format. All of our screens are wider than they are tall, but we print taller than wide. Well, by being able to zoom in manually like this, I can do a page width view and I still have the full zoom functions of my camera available, so I can get in a little tighter and a little closer and show more detail. So there's another little tip for you. All right, this has been Ed Holmwood with Elmo USA. I hope you've gotten some value out of this video. If you have any questions, please, you can go to our webpage at elmousa.com and there's an inquiry section under support. You can also call us at 800-947-ELMO, which is 800-947-3566. And thank you so much. Also, to check out our YouTube channel for additional videos. Have a great day. We appreciate your time and your support.